Hello, I'm Erwin Oelon. I'm very happy to be with you today. And as usually, I will answer questions. So the question today is, there is a big suspense. It is, how can I balance my commitments in life? And it's really a very, very important questions. And because I think we're all facing this kind of difficulty. Some people are very lucky, they are interested, they don't have any interest in life. They all the time are bothering themselves, and the idea is, during the week, they are very tired of working, and so they wait for the weekend, saying, at least on weekend, I will rest. And during the weekend, what happens to them? They are bored. They don't know what to do. So, of course, for this kind of people, this question really doesn't have any kind of importance. So, let's go to people, on the contrary, who have a lot of interest. And not only a lot of interest, but also some efficiency in what they do. And for example, I don't want to speak of myself, but I'm writing books, I'm doing music, I do conferences, I travel very much, and of course I do meditation, and so there is never one day which is long enough to do everything that I have to do. And sometimes I say, I really should have to cancel something, to abandon some activities. Then I convocate all the activities and I tell them, okay, I must get rid of one of you. I'm so sorry. Who would accept to be abandoned? Who would accept me not to take care of one of you? And they all answered, please, please, please don't leave us. And so I'm exactly facing the problem that was asked today. Of course, in this case, there are several branches of activities. I try to be a little serious, but even when I'm not, it's still serious because the question is. And so we have the professional life, which is extremely difficult to get rid of because it's fundamental to be at ease economically in our world. Because also it is what is allowing us to do what we want and what we like. So this is extremely difficult to take away. Then we have, let's say, the good moments, divertissement, life with other people, and sport and everything. And then we have spiritual activities. And what happens is that generally people are going to sacrifice their spiritual activities, not because they don't want to practice, but because there are so many things to handle in the normal daily life. Just just to pay the taxes or to face or the necessities of towards administration is very complicated. If you have your own business, it will take you an incredible amount of time, amount of stress also. So I think the first imperative necessity is to avoid stress. Because the more we are stressed, the more we lose energy, and the more it will be difficult to handle the situation. So the first key is stress. And so the question is how to face all activities smiling, with joy, with thankfulness of being able to have so many activities. And this will make them much lighter. If you go for anything with the joy to go, you will not lose energy, unless if you are stressed, you have much work to do. And I have a very good example on this. I was applying for a job, and I had 3 days of trial, and it was I don't know the name. It was a accountability of a big business, and then I had 3 days to finish, to give the book with all the errors that would have been solved. And after 3 days, I never done this. And the afternoon, magically, I didn't know how I did, but I could do it, and I had and I was paid extremely well for work that I hadn't done before. So I think to get joy, we have to trust. I think when we are, and to trust, we have to know whom to trust. So I think the first and the only thing that we must trust is our higher self, which is one with the whole, or the divine. So I think the most important in this is to focus on cooperation with our higher self. And cooperation means focus, and means intensifying all the time our connection. So the first thing that we should do in the morning when we wake up is to connect with our higher self. And our higher self is into the flame of immortal life. So, because if we do this, our higher self will rule our life. And the higher self has so many options and so many solutions. For the higher self, there is no problem without a solution. But for our physical human being, every problem is starting to increase and is bringing us into stress. So we absolutely have to change our way to look at life, and not to look our way to act into life. We are never alone. And our higher self is one with the universe. You know, if I have this spiritual path, it is because when I was a child, I met some fantastic people. They just went through my life, but through the moments I could see those people acting, and through the moments I shared with them, I knew there was a very high potential in every human being. And so all my purpose in life from this time, since I was a teenager, was I need to find a way to express my higher potential in my life. And there was no doubt on this. And it has been a very long path to finally, I don't say that I arrived to anywhere or to anything, but this focus on, please, I should like so much to express more and more my higher potential in my life has always been my main focus. And it took me at least to where I am now. And it's magnificent because I have a big way opened in front of me. And I know that this big path, this big way is continuing to bring me into a higher expression of myself. And what is this higher expression? It is just allowing my higher self to rule my life, my activities. You know, the idea is that if we have to handle many things in our life, it is because we can. So, and it is because we have many abilities. So let's be confident and let's be thankful to be in this kind of position. Then, of course, so the main purpose in reality is spiritual focus. All the other things are secondary, but they are secondary at a spiritual level. But at a material level, people think it doesn't exist. It doesn't have any importance. And this is showing how everything is in fact reversed, and how human being has forgotten, you know, the priorities of their life. And of course, it's very complicated because when we bring spiritual activities at the first level, we are not understood by the other people. Very often we are judged and we are condemned. And of course, this is not this is not a funny situation. But it's also wonderful work. Even if we are criticized, we continue to love those people. And we continue to bring our best to them. And so I think really it's absolutely fundamental. But sometimes, some days, we are extremely busy. We have to face to so many things. Then we have to forgive ourselves not to have time enough for spiritual activities. Because if we start judging ourselves, we block the energy. So in this case, we transfer to our higher self. We say, please give me better conditions. Please give me solutions in order to bring more time into my life to spiritual activities. But at least in the morning, as soon as we get up, we get in tune with the higher self. You know, in reality, in the tools I communicate to the people, I work very much on bilocation. What is bilocation? It is the fact to be in several places in the same time. So in reality, the work is to bilocate into our higher self. It means to be as present into our higher self that we think we are into our physical body. And we start to be in the same time in our higher self and our physical self. And then you see the link starts to become stronger and stronger. And then the higher self will bring the solution to the question. Because again, the higher self has so many possibilities, abilities. He has all the tools into his hands. And while our physical self is a little baby compared to the higher self. And as a little baby, we have to trust completely the higher self. Because it is our divine double. So the work is the bilocation into our divine double. And the pranic tube, that is a tube that this size, that is going into our physical body by the crown chakra and going out from the perineum, is connecting us to the sun and to the center of the earth, and is going in reality much farther than the sun, but our higher self, we can feel it is into the sun. So if you can bilocate with your higher self into the sun and increase all the time your presence into your higher self, into the sun, then incredible things will happen in your life. And this is a magic and fantastic tool that if you practice, you'll have a magnificent, let's say, profit. I hope. I know it's an imperfect answer, but the important is to have a solution. Thank you very much.